Ever wonder what it would be like if you were in a princess school? Hello everyone, my name is Catherine Tanya and I'm from Tinas Lipo Chikara. I'm from the 12th grade and today we're going to be doing a movie review. Would love to say thank you to every single person that made this thing possible, and yeah, thank you for that. Let's get into the movie review. So the movie that I'll be doing comes from the Barbie universe. You probably know Barbie from that Barbie movie. Yeah, but we're not going to be discussing that Barbie movie at all. We're going to be discussing one of my favorite Barbies of all time. One of my favorite Barbie movies of all time. It's really nostalgic. It's good. It's a feel-good movie for girls like me and girls at me at heart. So the movie that we're going to be doing is called Barbie Princess Charm School. This is such a nostalgic movie, and I hope you enjoy my movie review as much as I enjoy making this. So this movie is made in 2011 and it's around 1 hour and 21 minutes. And this movie is so nostalgic. It's one of my favorite Barbie movies of all time. And of course, this is a standalone movie. There's no sequel, no prequel, no episode. It's just one movie. And I absolutely loved it. My younger self loves it. And as I'm grown older, I love this movie even more. The plot is actually really simple. It's about this girl named Blair Willows, and she lived in this gorgeously beautiful kingdom called Gardenia. Gardenia is not one of those old castle vibe kingdom kind of thing, but it's one of those really pretty kingdoms that is actually connected to a city, town-ish kind of moment. And in that kind of town area, I guess outside of it kind of, is like a beautiful boarding school for princesses called Princess Charm School. Basically the title of the movie. How incredible is that? And well, the only people that could go there were princesses. It's also for people that won the lottery through it. So every single year they have kind of this like lottery section thing, okay? And they could pick one winner so they could go and become, you know, a princess and go to school there for a better education, for a better future, for their family's sake, and everything else as well. So I thought that was really cool too. One of my favorite things about this was her sister. You know, Blair's sister really liked about being a princess. She's like, oh my god, my biggest dream is becoming a princess. And because she was a bit underage to go to this school, she decided to put her sister's name in the lottery. But you know, Emily's like, she's probably not gonna win and she's never gonna know. And you know, Blair went back from her job and she just like, so tired today, you know, but you know, I work every day to keep this family alive and I love my family, whatever. The TV was on and the lottery was like right there, and Emily was like, please be Blair Willows, please be Blair Willows. And you know, Blair was like, you didn't even put my name there. Winner was like chosen, and they were like, the winner of this year to go to Princess Charm School is Blair Willows. And Blair was like, what? And her mom and her sister was really happy, and her mom's like, you know, it's okay, I know I'm sick right now, but we'll find the money, and if you go to this school for free, you know, basically it's like a scholarship. Oh my gosh, my dream. And she was like, you're gonna give us a better future, and don't worry about me, you know, I'll be okay, you know, I have your sister can help take care of me. And Blair was like, fine, it's so fine, you know, even though Blair was just living a regular life, because of course Blair was just a commoner that won the lottery, so she's gonna be known as the lottery girl when she goes to the school. So as she arrived at the school, she kind of, you know, opened the big gates, and the first thing she saw, a dog tackled her. Oh my gosh. No, the first thing she saw was this golden retriever dog attacking her, named Prince, and he's really sweet. And by the way, the dog tackled her gently, you know, very, very gently. And she was like, hi, nice to meet you, doggy. And she reads the name, doggy name is Prince. And the principal came, I guess the headmistress. The headmistress came and she was like, hi, you must be Blair Willows. Welcome to Princess Charm School. And she looked at the dog. She was like, huh, this dog is usually really, really shy and usually like, you know, really, you know, fear of people, like anxiety, like to a whole nother level. I was like, wow, this is really new. And Blair was like, wow, that's really cool. You know, just like trying to, you know, be professional and all of that. Mrs. Privet showed all around the school. By the way, that's the principal's name, Mrs. Privet. She kind of showed all around school, and they went to this kind of like a locker area, which is really gorgeous and beautiful because you could see the castle from very far. She changed into her uniform and she gets a little tiny pink fairy, which she was a bit annoying in my opinion, but that's fine. And of course, she was new, the fairy was new, and she was really, really, really clumsy, and she was like falling everything everywhere. But you know, in the end they got through, and you know, they became really good friends. And so Blair was brought to her dorm room by her fairy, and she was in the same room with two other girls, and they were princesses. It was Princess Hadley and Princess Isla. Princess Hadley was the sports girl. She loves sports. She can do any sports. You want her to do soccer, football, tennis, golf, any of that she can do. And she's, of course, a really great dancer. And Isla, oh my gosh, the talent for music is absolutely insane. She can DJ, she can play the keyboard, she can play the piano, she can play the guitar. That's a really funny accent. The way I said guitar. Probably those Pedro Pascal's movie that made me say guitar really weird. Sorry about that. Anyways, moving on. what is something really funny about it was, they got along really well. We got the sports gal, we got the, music gal, and of course, Blair, the creative one, the very creative girl. Oh my gosh, she was just over the moon. And so they were like, having fun. They were just going through the school and just, they got shown around the school and they had fun and they talk about their purpose in life. And yeah, Blair just kept doing something. They just bothered this girl. She keeps accidentally bumping into the dame's daughter on accident. The dame's daughter name is Delancey Devons, and Delancey is actually the future princess of Gardania. And you're probably wondering, how is a dame's daughter the future princess? Well, it's because the Gardania family, royal family, actually died years ago on a tragic accident. Yeah, and the dame's daughter didn't like, Blair, because she kept doing things that just kept hurting her. She accidentally sprayed perfume a lot on Delancey. She accidentally, Blair, we're talking about Blair here, so she accidentally almost, pushed Delancey into the pond full of fishes. Hello, she is the dame's daughter. Are we talking here? But of course, the dame's daughter was not going to be easy on Blair. Of course, and after all, Blair was just a commoner, and she was the dame's daughter. And so she was like, commoners like you just don't belong here. So she did something for her. It was kind of wickedly evil of Delancey. Was Delancey actually making her green fairy, tucking like this piece of like cloth, like, that just covers your like kitchen tablecloth. Tablecloths? They put the tablecloth in like, insert it kind of into Blair's vest without her looking. And as Blair was walking out of the cafeteria, bumped into her, and then she made all of the dishwares, what are they called? Spoons, forks, knives, all of those, dishes, plate, food, even food. Oh my god, that poor food. They all fell to the ground. And Blair was like, I gotta go. I'm sorry. And then in the end, the beautiful Miss Privet was going to be like, I'm going to be teaching you how to become a princess. For real. Because I think you have potential, Blair. Just to be kind-hearted. And of course, if you're wondering, how is it like the dame's mother? The dame. The dame doesn't like Blair. Why doesn't she not like Blair? Why doesn't she like Blair? Skip to the part where they went to the castle. They had this beautiful thing. They were getting ready for coronation. And, well, they were just looking around the castle, the palace. I guess palace and castle are the same thing. And they're looking around, and they went to this, like, gorgeous hallway with all the pictures. And Hadley was like, there's a picture of Blair over there. They were like, why would there be a picture of Blair? After all, she is just a commoner, right? She was just a commoner all this long time. How on earth did Blair is on the freaking wall in the palace in the first place? I don't know. You tell me. And so they were reading the label, and it was not her. It was a queen named Queen Isabella. And she goes, Blair, you look exactly like Queen Isabella. And she goes, Blair, how did you end up in your mom's house again? She goes, oh, my mom found me in the doorstep. In the doorstep? So after all, she wasn't her real mother. The one in her house wasn't a real mother. It was just a mom that adopted Blair into her family and loved her. And they start looking around, and Blair's like, that couldn't be. That just couldn't be me. They found a picture of this man, a queen, so a king, a queen, a little baby, and just a dog named Prince. It was called Queen Isabella and her daughter, Princess Sophia. And then she goes, is this why Dame Devon? Dame Devon is actually Delancey's mom name. So the dame's name is actually Dame Devon. And she goes, is this the reason why Dame Devon don't like you in the first place? Because you look exactly like Princess Sophia? And that's why she's so obsessed of making Delancey future princess. Well, they were talking about these things. They were making theories up that Blair was this princess, the missing princess of Gardania. And Delancey heard this from afar. Delancey started thinking, I'm not the future princess. While they were going back to the school, Delancey came to them and she said, are you really Princess Sophia? She goes, why would you think that? Delancey said, I don't want to be princess if I'm not really, the really heir to the princess thingy, the princess throne. And they kept thinking, and they said, my mom kept the princess crown in this basement in the castle palace. And then she gave her a map to go there to take the crown. So Blair could officially become princess, because she was the princess after all. She was the missing princess after all. No wonder the dog prince liked her so much, right? Right? Does that make sense? They went into the palace late at night, trying to find their way into the castle. They found it, and it was the night before coronation. They went in there, and they because Isla was that tech smart girl. Not only she was into music, she was really that smart. Boop, 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 and she got into the secret crown room. They were like, oh my god, it's right there. And Hadley was like, hold on, wait, I've seen this in parkour videos. She'd blow like this powder, and there were lasers everywhere. If you don't know, if the laser hits any of you in any part, they could set the whole alarm to the whole palace, knowing that they were in that room guarding the crown. So they went in there really, really slowly, and then they, turn off the what's called, the lasers. Okay, they found the crown. They were gonna take it. As they turned back, they heard the door open. To their surprise, it was the dame. And she goes, what are you doing here? Oh, you think I did not know about this plan? Delancey didn't tell her. She was looking at the CCTV camera. So for all I know, I think she was looking at the CCTV. She was like, are you sure? You don't know. So Dame Devon trapped them inside the crown room and changed the passcode. And they said, you won't get to coronation on time. Boop, 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 boop. And then close the door, change the passcode, and leave. They're stuck in this like coronation crown room. And as the coronation starts, as the next day, so they're still in there. The princes are in line, and they get their crown, and the last person was Delancey. Delancey was like, where in the world is Blair? The crown is right there. And she was like, did the plan not work? For all you know, Dame Devon no more, And Delancey kept stalling her. It was like, I heard in the book of conduct, if you do this 20 times, everyone in this room has to do 20 times. And she kept just like stalling every single one of them. And Dame was like, that's enough. Just put the crown on my kid's head. And Delancey was like backing up, like, Mom, don't do this. And then from the top, I don't know how, Isla with her smart brain decided to like, boop, 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 and then she just unlocked it. And then she was like, they ran, and then they were in this overflow area, and they were like, stop the coronation. And they just looked at her, and she was like, what's going on? And she was like, I am Princess Sophia. I'm the missing princess. And they're like, but yeah, and then everyone was like, yeah, she kind of looks like Princess Sophia. And then she was, yes. And Dame Devon was scared. Her plans after years are going to be found out. And she goes, how did that even happen? And then the dame was like, accidentally on live television, because Delancey revealed it, and Delancey yeeted the crown to Blair, and then Blair becomes the princess. Dame Devon, with all her anger, revealed all of her mistake, and she said, you don't know the hard puts or something like that you had put me through. I had to get rid of Isabella for you. In front of the live television. This was a live produced, so it was like during live, it was on the news, it was a princess coronation thing. She revealed her secret to the whole entire kingdom and to the whole world. Dame Devon was arrested, and of course, everything happened, and, well, it's really sweet, because in the end, Blair still made Delancey a princess royal, which is really sweet and kind. And in the end, they were all dancy, and in the end, it was so sweet. They brought the mom and Blair's little sister to the palace, and they had fun, and her sister got to live her princess dreams, and that is the plot for Princess Charm School. Now I'm going to be breaking down some key elements in this movie. So the first thing is the storyline. It makes sense. It's a good storyline. It's amazing. The pacing of the characters, of how they change, and there's so many things, just a little bit of bits and bobs that you don't realize. Side characters might give you clues, or, they're best friends, they don't know how much, they're actually part of it, and they actually help you with it, In this whole movie, you're just kind of centered on Barbie the whole entire time, aka Blair Willows. But if you get to go to see a darker view in this whole thing, they all make sense. They all have their part, and they all helped each other in the end. And I think that's a really good thing, friendship, they teach you about everything. The character development, especially from Blair, not knowing what she was or how she's going to deal with everything. And then in the end, she's like, oh my gosh, finally everything is the truth. One of my favorite character development is probably Delancey's development. Dame Devon's daughter, Delancey Devons, had one of the best character development in this whole story. She started off, on screen, first time we saw her, mean, boring, sarcastic, sassy, just rude. And in the end, towards the end, we know that she only wants good means, and she just needs to have that perfect standard because of how her mother raised her. I thought that was one of my favorite cool elements about this movie, was her character development was phenomenal. The acting was good, the performance was good. Just the little details are just so incredible. For me, I think the cinematography of the animation is just... By the way, this movie is animated, if you're wondering. It's like a not animated like anime animated. It's just like a 3D kind of, you know what they look like. I think for me, the music and the sound design is just perfect. Especially that song, I think I gotta balance, think I'm gonna fall. And so that music where, Mrs. Privet was teaching Blair how to be a princess and how to really, stand up and have that Princess Charm School material or maturity, whatever you call it, a material in a girl, you know, material girl kind of moment. She teaches you, and from things that you cannot be able, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna be able to learn this, and you did. And Blair did it, you know. She kind of found that character development. You know, nobody ever believed in me, and now what they do, you know. My friends, yeah, they see how creative I became. They see everything, and I think that's one of my favorite things about it. The music fits in with the right moment, and it's just so good. The theme is, you know, princessy, but the message behind it is so much more. There's so many messages behind it that, you know, you can make good friendships along it. So make the friendship bracelet, take the moment, taste it, you got reuse it. Why am I singing Taylor all of a sudden? You know, the theme is good, you know, for kids. It's really nostalgic. I love the feeling of it. I think there's so many messages behind it that is so good, you know. You don't know what people are really going through. They might be look like a hard, tough skin on the outside, and their inside they're as lovely, and they're, you know, their heart is soft and moist and it's just gentle and sweet. And I love that. And that's kind of my analysis in this whole movie. So now let's move on to my opinion on this movie. Oh my gosh, I love this movie. This movie is so nostalgic. It's good. It's a feel-good movie. It's one of those movies just brings you so much, you know, nostalgic. And if you can just see this right now on the internet, swear to God, every girl has watched this growing up. And if you're one of those girls that know this movie and you grew up watching this Barbie movie, you know, I'm really happy to do this, you know, to do this review for you. Actually, on Google, it's actually say 100% nostalgic. I love that. I love how Google just adds that, you know, she knows. Google knows, you know, what's the best thing for us. And I love this movie. Something I like about this movie is like the plot line of it. I loved how the coloration of it. I just liked every single aspect of it. Something I don't like about it, the dislike of me, is like I don't really like how Blair's character, like, you know, family, aka like the sister and the mom, they don't look that good, because Blair actually looks really good, and they kind of look weird. Their animated looks a little bit weird, you know. I think for me, Delancey's too pretty to become a villain. Delancey and her mom just look a bit too similar. I think that's really it. Isla just, you know, sometimes doesn't sit right with me. Hadley, she's a princess, but she acts really different, really acts like, you know, a whole different. So they all have their dislikes and likes about it. I have, of course, personally, I have likes and dislikes for Blair. I think Blair is such a wonderful character. Other than I don't dislike about her is that, like, she gives up too fast in the front. Like, if you see her, she doesn't believe in herself. Like, I'm like, girl, you got an opportunity to go to princess school, and she's like, I can't do this, I'm sorry. And then she just leaves the room. Like, she just always leave the room like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And then she just leaves. I wish she was a bit more character, that she knows she has confidence, but in the end she did build it up, and I love that for her. Yeah, something I dislike about the villain, I guess Dame Devon. I don't know, I thought Dame Devon's pretty cool. She's a perfect villain. If you don't like her because she's a villain, that means she did a good job. And I grew up, I was so scared of her, so I think she did a good job as doing a villain. So yeah. Now I'm gonna go to my conclusion, summarize my thoughts, and give the movie a good rating. Okay, I think my summaries of my thoughts is that I love this movie. Super nostalgic, love it, and it's a good feel-good movie. For me, personally, I really like it. It's part of the Barbie universe. It's one of my favorites. My top three my favorite Barbies, probably Barbie Princess Island, Barbie Princess Charm School, and Barbie Fairy Secret. This one, I think for me, was the best one to do today, because it's based on a, you know, high school-ish university kind of moment, and that's where a step I'm gonna be taking soon. So I think that was pretty cool, and just get the aspect of it, I thought it was really nice as well. Giving this movie a rating of 100 Rotten Tomatoes. If you know what that means, it's a really good movie. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. This movie is such a recommend. And maybe for girls, I don't know about guys, but you should watch it. You know, you can get the feel of it. I think I realize that most guys don't like girl movies, but this is a girl movie, and I love this girl movie, and you will love it too. So you watch it. Why am I so aggressive? I'm so sorry. This movie is so nostalgic. Love it. You watch it. And yeah, it's a good movie. I love cartoons. I love animation movies, so that's good. And my final takeaway is that, remember, that every single Barbie movie has a good meaning. A little bit dark, and a little bit creepy, and a little bit fun. But most of it, we love, you know, how they sing, how they dance. It's a good movie. It's a good princess book for me, and it's a sweet movie. I love this movie, and I can never say anything else about that. I can go back 20 years from now and say this is still one of my favorite Barbie movies, period. This generation of Barbie movies, the now animation Barbie, back then, peak beauty, just amazingness. But I did love the Barbie movie though, because I did cry to it. Like, I meant the new animation versions. Okay, so that's all for my movie review. I hope you do enjoy my movie review, and I hope that this opens your eyes to watch more Barbie universe movies. And if you are a girl and you watch these growing up, or you're a guy and you watch these growing up, please rewatch it. It's a good feeling of nostalgic. It makes you happy. You know, it's just like, oh, I remember this movie. I remember this character. It's like opening up in your old books and meeting an old friend back. That's how it always feels for me watching or rewatching a movie. And if you enjoyed today's video, I hope you do give me a good score. I really did make this from the heart in, and I hope you enjoyed it. I love you all. Whoever's watching, please rewatch all Barbie movies. You love it. Watch it with your friends, your boyfriend, your sister, your mom, your dad, your family, your aunt, uncle, you know, grandma, grandpa. All watch it. You love this. So, Anyways, I'll see you all in, I guess, the next competition, hopefully. Okay, bye.